What's up, everybody? I'm MFG Deez, and this is the Crimson Mass Show. This is our debut episode, and today we're going to review the WWE Draft Part 1. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to bring in my co host, and then we're going to get it popping. Let's do it. Yo, what's up, everybody? We are here. It is the Crimson Mass Show.
What's
Um,
going
right
on?
now, we have here with us, we have the man, the myth, the legends. We have Ty and we have Petey Stunt. Let's do it, y'all. You want to tell everybody about yourself, man? Matter of fact, let's go. I'm MFG Deez. I am the creator of crimsonmask.com, where we basically try to post as much as we can about everything wrestling. Right now, AEW and WWE, but we're gonna be adding other promotions very, very soon. I'm also one of the co-hosts of Let's Talk Dynasty with Andrew Mott. All right, and over here we have Todd. Todd, tell them about yourself.
All right. It's your boy Ty. You know, I'm very excited to be here. One fan for a very long time. Uh, your boy's gonna be doing a couple of voices here and there, a little bit of Leo Rush. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of Rock there, a little bit of Stone Cold. But I'm mostly pro wrestling part. So like I'm your guy for Joshi. I'm everything Joshi, man. Everything Japanese pro wrestling. So yeah,
All right, let's go. Hopefully, at some point, we're gonna have Ty bringing in the Impact and the New Japan Pro Wrestling part on CrimsonMass.com once we
yeah.
get that up and running. All right, Petey Stunt, tell us about yourself.
Well, you already know, guys. It's Petey Stunt. And I'm very excited. First show, we got a lot to cover, a lot to talk about. There's so much going on. Man, I like I said, it's my first show. Um, I've been into wrestling since I was about 8 or 9 years old. I really started getting heavy into wrestling. And you know, as I told Mr. Deez here, Mr. MFG, is that I I noticed I wanted to be a wrestler when I jumped off a school desk table doing a 5-star frog splash. Um, it didn't end well. It definitely ended with an injury of dislocating my shoulder, but but I definitely wanted to be a wrestler, and wrestling just been embodied in me for years. So I love talking about it. I love other kinds of sports, but wrestling is where it's at. That's my meats and crannies right there. You're gonna hear me talk a lot. I'm gonna talk loud. Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited. That's all I can say.
All right, guys. So I think we know episode one. I felt like this was the perfect thing to start with for our first ever video, and we're gonna be talking about the WWE Draft. Now, I think it's a couple things we have to get out of here. Some news and notes. The WWE Draft is a very flawed system. I mean, I don't know how you other guys think about it, but the WWE Draft, it kind of doesn't make sense. It kind of doesn't make sense because, or else, why would the Street Profits, for example, Street Profits, let me just do a little check here. Street Profits got drafted above Edge. So, I mean, I think common logic would say, why are the Street Profits getting drafted above Edge? So I mean, I digress. You got to suspend belief a little bit when you come to the WWE draft. Um, but we're here and we're gonna talk about it. So without further ado, we're gonna talk about round one of the WWE draft. Okay, so I'm gonna kick it off. So
Okay.
SmackDown had the first pick in the WWE draft, and their first pick was Roman Reigns. And this also didn't make sense to me. It was Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman, which makes sense, but then you get Solo Sokoa along with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. I don't quite think that's fair. I think Solo Sokoa should have been a standalone pick. We're going to talk about strengths and weaknesses here, but the strengths, weaknesses I have for Roman Reigns is his strength is being one of the GOATs. At this point, it's hard to argue the fact that Roman Reigns is one of the greatest of all time at this point. He's one of the greatest of all time. His weakness, I have it listed here as a lack of credible challengers. He's pretty much beaten the who's who of WWE right now. He's beaten Edge. He's beaten, he's beaten Cody. He's beaten Seth Rollins, which I mean, he technically beat Seth Rollins. I mean, it's kind of colluded, but uh, he beat Daniel Bryan. Even Daniel Bryan's in AEW now. And then my projection for Roman Reigns is going to be that he's going to hold the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship to WrestleMania 40. Okay, so I know Solo got drafted too. We'll get to Solo draft. We'll get to Solo in a second, but let's talk about Roman Reigns. Don't rush too fast.
You know, I 100% agree with you. I 100% uh, Roman Reigns is going to hold that Universal Undisputed Championship till WrestleMania 40. And I'm also baffled why he was drafted with Solo Sikoa, a tag team. They have never competed as a tag team, but you're going to split them up from the Usos. That makes no sense because I thought it was going to be the whole bloodline. So does that mean the Usos are not a part of the bloodline anymore and are just the Usos?
I think that's what we're all wondering. What about you, Pete? What do you think?
Let me turn my cap around for this one. That's where it gets confusing a little bit because it's like I thought the bloodline was a unit. I thought it was everybody together. The Usos, Solo, Heyman, Roman. But that's how they telling the story. As we noticed then, when we watched SmackDown, what happened? The Usos lost. Roman made the call. The call was supposed to be Solo to go out there and handle some personal business because the Usos lost. So I think maybe it's another form of punishment for the Usos. Maybe it's a form of they can't be drafted with us until they win those titles. If they win them titles, then yeah, they can come. And they don't win them titles, we're gonna kick their ass, and they have to go to another show. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe I'm just thinking too much. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it. But what I think is that Roman wants to completely separate himself from the Usos. They're the outsiders now. They're the outsiders. Which in return, which would make the Usos, what do you call it? Face. But at the same time, maybe, just maybe. Oh, here's my question: Is the tag team titles defended on both shows?
That's a that's a hell of a question.
That's a
I
good
would like to
question.
know
We
the
don't even
same
know
thing.
that.
That is a good
We don't even know.
question.
See, I would have went with the assumption of
Are we gonna get
if the Raw tag team titles were going to be on Raw, Usos need to get those belts or whatever and get the SmackDown. Or I don't know, man. It's just so. I just wish they would just put the story to rest already. Just put it to rest. We don't need a whole drawn out story of waiting until WrestleMania. Come on, just let them go ahead and turn on them, and that just be it.
No, I hear you. I hear you on that, man.
Mhm.
I definitely kind of feel like the bloodline story is kind of getting a little bit off the rails here. I think it's time to either get it back on track or get it done with. And that lead us to our second draft pick here. Well, 1.2 since they were drafted together. 1.2 Solo Sokoa. I have Solo Sokoa's strength as being well protected. He's booked very well, very strong. His weakness is that his last few matches, if you pay close attention, his last few matches, he needed help from the Usos to win his last few matches. So I don't even think. I hope before he Samoan Spike the Usos, he better think about the reality that the Usos had to help him cheat to win the last few matches. So I mean, he's kind of been coming off to me at least as a weak enforcer. That's just my opinion on it. Um, and then my projection for him is that between now and the next WrestleMania, he will have a mid card title around his waist. What do you guys think?
I, you know, I agree. The guy is a future intercontinental champion. You know, you're right. He's a future mid card champion. Very well protected. Very well protected. And I'm gonna also elaborate on. He does need to think about it. You want to turn your back on the Usos? People who are helping you win. Has Roman helped you win? Not a single time. But you helped Roman win multiple times. You need to figure out where your chips lie, Solo. Figure out where the chips lie, my boy.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to say on that is that don't get it wrong. Solo is a phenomenal wrestler. He's a phenomenal talent, right? What I don't like is their first off, he's not even talking anymore. What happened to his speech? What happened to his speech? He can't even talk anymore. He's doing a lot of now. He's not talking anymore. Him saying a few words, which made him really cool, different, made him part of the group, made him look strong, made him look this, that, and the third. But now he's just completely just There's nothing. I don't like that. And I don't like that they're making him to be like this second generation Umaga. I don't like that either. I respect the Samoan family. I respect all of that. But I don't like that they're doing that with him because he's a phenomenal talent. He's good. Like you guys said, I totally agree. He will be a future mid-card champion. Will he be heavyweight champion? I don't know. I don't really it's a little iffy right now because of where they got him. But yes, I want the old Solo. That's what I want. I want the old Solo. Just like we want his old theme song. We want his old theme
I was
song
just going
back.
to say that.
I want the old Solo. Give me the old Solo. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think Umaga was great in his own right. I don't think they need to go that route with Solo. With Umaga, they were almost trying to have it be to where, and this is them, not me. I think they almost tried to have it to where like, oh, Armando Estrada was just walking around in Samoa and he seen this guy and he was just like big, scary, attacking people. Here, let me get you. Let me take you over to WWE and let me put you in the ring against some guys and tear to pieces. And like they almost tried to put, because you know how WWE does it. WWE, they don't shy away of trying to use them like stereotypes and all that. I think they're trying to make it come off like this savage that they found somewhere who didn't know how to speak, coming over and like attacking other wrestlers. That's the gimmick that I feel like they were trying to go with Umaga. Solo Sokoa is the street champion. The street champion, okay, I get it. You're a silent, strong, deadly type. I get it. But they should be booking Solo like Hook is getting booked in AEW, where he says a little bit here, says a little bit there, but he's not sitting there, screaming and yelling and all that. He's saying a couple words here and there. Like instead of like him screaming and yelling, he could just say something like "yeah" or "nah," like something simple, like a badass. But yeah, I agree with you, man. I feel like they definitely could and should be doing something else with Solo Sokoa. So with that said, now we're going to move on to another pick that I'm sure is going to get you guys fired up. So in round one, pick number two for Monday Night Raw was Cody Rhodes. And with Cody Rhodes, I have his strengths listed as he's the top baby face in the company. That is absolute. That is 100% undisputed. He is the top baby face in the company right now. His weaknesses, to me, his weakness is his dream of holding the WWE title unless he somehow wins the Money in the Bank or the Royal Rumble. That's his weakness. My projection, and here's a projection for you. My projection for this year for Cody Rhodes is that he's going to be a back-to-back Royal Rumble winner, and he's going to go over to challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 for that WWE title. What do you guys think?
Well, I think we are forgetting one thing. New World Heavyweight Championship is on Raw. So I kind of want to see. I kind of want to see them run it back. I don't know where Seth is going. I don't know if somebody picked him, but if Seth goes to Raw, I want to see them run it back. Cody versus Seth for that WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions. Now that's a big money match because I feel like they kind of ruined it. This is my personal opinion. They kind of ruined it for me sitting up there in that crowd, second night of WrestleMania, and you have us all expect Cody to win. He just dropped the ball.
With the rubber chicken next to his head.
Mhm.
So what do you guys want to cluck about? Oh, listen, I'm trying to figure out where they're going with this story, right? The whole story was supposed to be Cody chasing Roman. So now, at first, I was like, MFG, he's got to be insane to think that Cody's going to go to Royal Rumble and win again. That's just insane. That's pulling a Stone Cold. You know what I'm saying? That's insane. That's not happening, right? So I'm like, well, they have to finish the story some way, somehow. You know what I'm saying? You drafted him over to Raw, so now he has to go to the Royal Rumble and win the Royal Rumble in order to take the belt from Roman. Which that means we still have to wait all the way until WrestleMania, which is still a long storyline to keep dragging out. I thought they could have put it to bed at SummerSlam. I would have been happy with that. I would have been happy if they would have just drafted Cody over to SmackDown, have him beat Brock Lesnar, okay? Have him go through all the other trials and tribulations, getting his butt kicked, yada, yada, yada. And then he goes to SummerSlam, beats Roman, Roman loses the titles, boom. Now you got two full-time people. You'll have Seth on Raw. You'll have Cody on SmackDown. Roman can go do his little part-time stuff that he does. So now we have to stick and wait for a whole another part-time show to keep going. Now, I don't know.
I mean, here's where I'm at on that. They could have Cody win the Money in the Bank, but see, here's my issue with that. I feel like that needs to be reserved for somebody who's not really on the map right now to get elevated. Somebody like L.A. Knight. Yeah,
Yeah.
somebody like L.A.
That's
Knight.
my number one pick. That's my
Yeah,
number
some
one
Yeah.
pick.
yeah, like someone like L.A. Knight, so he could go from here to here. But if you put that on Cody, then what? Cody's gonna cash in on Roman. Then that's another thing too. I don't like faces having the Money in the Bank briefcase. I just don't like it because the best cash ins are when you get them when they down and weak, when they down and out. You get them, attack them, pin them, get the title. So I mean, when I think about it, is they got Cody has to win the Royal Rumble. He has to find because here's two things that just wouldn't make sense to me. It wouldn't make sense to me if Cody doesn't win the Royal Rumble and then find some way to go all the way over to SmackDown to challenge Roman because then it's basically spitting in the face of the brand split, which they do way too much. Stick to the damn brand you know, and it doesn't make sense for Cody to win the World Heavyweight Championship because what? So we're just supposed to forget his speech after last WrestleMania, where he stood in the ring, talked about Dusty, talked about how it's his dream to have the WWE title. So I mean, they're gonna have to figure it out. The only logical thing I could even think of is that Cody wins the Royal Rumble, because I just, in my good conscience, can't believe they're gonna disrespect Cody like that and say, "Yeah, Cody, we're not gonna put the WWE title on you. Go ahead and win the World Heavyweight title." And it's a domino effect to that, because then that's gonna piss Seth off, who allegedly is already feeling some kind of way about Cody, all the stuff Cody's getting and all the fanfare around Cody. So I don't know. I don't know.
I got one more thing to say about that. So today, I found out um, that they got free agents, right? You got Dolph,
Mhm.
Amos, and there was four of
Yeah.
them, four free agents. I can't think of the other ones. Why they just didn't have Cody as a free agent at that point? Then
That would have solved the problem, wouldn't it?
that would have solved all the
He
problems. We
would have
went
been the
all the
hottest
way
free.
till WrestleMania. Exactly, he would have been the hottest free agent. You got almost right. Who's
Hmm.
done nothing? Oh, he gets to wrestle on both shows. Dolph
Yeah, that
Ziggler,
don't make no
who's
sense.
done nothing. Oh, he gets to wrestle on both shows. You
Yeah,
could have had
that
Cody.
yeah. Yeah, that doesn't make too much sense, man. You know how WWE is. We'll see what happens. It's hard for me to believe that they're just gonna let Omos and Dolph Ziggler, these random people, be free agents. So we'll see on Monday if they change their mind and just throw them in a draft. We'll see. Or put them in a supplemental draft. So we're gonna move on to our next draftee, and we're going to talk about pick three for SmackDown, Mrs. Bianca Belair. Strengths I have for Bianca Belair is that the machine is
Stale.
clearly behind her. The machine is behind her. She's being pushed. She's on commercials. She's on TV. She's on talk shows. The machine is behind her. Her weakness is that her title reign is stale. Her title reign has gotten stale. It's like old bread. And I have the projection for her. My projection for her between now and the next WrestleMania is that she's going to turn heel, and that's going to take all that staleness off. And what I also say about that is that along with her turning heel, she's not gonna be the champion when she turns heel. Her losing the belt is gonna be the catalyst to her turning heel, and the domino effect. I can't tell you guys which one's gonna have happen first between her turning heel and then convincing Montez Ford to turn on Angelo Dawkins, or Montez Ford turn on Angelo Dawkins and then Bianca turning heel. But one thing that I will tell you before next WrestleMania is that Bianca Belair, Montez Ford will be a heel couple, and Bianca Belair will be losing her title very, very soon, and that will cause her to turn heel. Go.
I 100 agree with you. She has become one of the stalest women's champions in recent memory. I love I love Bianca Belair. She's a fantastic athlete, collegiate and college and track and field, athleticism through the roof. It's just all like we're kind of getting tired of it now. Like, can we like move on to somebody else? Like, you let Oscar come back as one of my favorite personas, respect on her, and call Kana because that's who she
Don't mess
is.
with don't
She's
don't
not
mess with your Joshies.
Oscar. She's Kana. Yeah, don't mess with my Yoshi. Don't mess with my Yoshi, man. All they need to do to complete that is to let her use her little ominous music in the background like she did in Japan. It's all over. Oscar's undefeatable. But you know, back to Bianca, fantastic athlete. It's just that kind of getting tired of it. She needs heel, and I agree. Heel couple Montez and Bianca Belair. I'm 100% for it.
Just like Deez and Ty said, right? I wouldn't have a problem if she was a heel and winning and keeping the title. If she was pulling the Roman, and like you guys said, she needs to either lose that title, turn heel, Montez needs to turn heel. Hell, I'll be honest with you. Y'all might not like this one. I wouldn't mind if Street Profits both turn heel and they form
I
a
mean,
group. They form
I
a
like
group.
that.
You know what I'm saying? Montez and Bianca Belair be that
I,
powerhouse.
I like it too.
Why they got why they got Angelo Dawkins. He's the enforcer, he's the one, the right hand man. I would love to see that, man. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
time for a shake up. It's time for a change. That's the whole part of the brand split, is the also not just splitting the brand, but changing things up within characters as well. So yeah, I agree.
Yeah, 100%, man. I think that, and some I want to remind people, because I know a lot of people wasn't watching NXT. A lot of people still don't watch NXT. Bianca Belair. Okay, what people need to understand is that Bianca Belair on the main roster, you haven't seen peak Bianca Belair yet. You haven't even seen the real Bianca Belair. You've seen his cotton candy, skipping, motivational, high fiving kids, Bianca Belair. The real Bianca Belair, the real Bianca Belair, the real Bianca Belair with the ceiling, the potential through the roof is a heel Bianca Belair. When she trash talking, telling people they trash, telling her people they see the EST, and just basically being like, Jay Cargill. That's the real Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
Arrogant, cocky, and
Yeah.
bad chick. That's who Bianca Belair is. And the main roster hasn't seen it yet. The main roster has seen the crying, history making, all that good stuff. All that stuff's good and great. But as far as her character and her personality, you know, you haven't seen the best of her yet. And that's the perfect segue to our next draft pick. Number 4, Monday Night Raw, Becky Lynch. Speaking of character,
Oh my
her strength
goodness.
is that her popularity hasn't faded. She's almost like Beyonce now at this point where, yeah, her character fell off a little bit, but she got ride or die fans. That's Becky Lynch at this point. Her weakness is that she has not been able to recapture the original man run. I don't care what nobody say. We have not seen the man Becky Lynch. She could call herself the man, but she ain't the man. She ain't the one that was in the crowd with the bloody face. And this is like she's been the man light. That's what she's been for the last few years now. And it's kind of just like whatever with her
Yeah.
whenever she steps to the ring. I don't.
Yes.
She hasn't done anything to make me care about who she feuds with or none of that stuff. So I mean, we haven't seen the man. With a real man, please stand up. My projection for her is that my projection for her is that she's going to become the women's champion again because why wouldn't they put the belt on her again? I mean, it's going to happen. It's inevitable. Her and Charlotte, it's inevitable that they get the championship again. They not like they friend Bailey. Bailey, I can sit here and seriously wonder if she'll ever have the women's title again. Charlotte and Becky, they're going to keep winning it. Charlotte's going to keep winning it until she retires. Becky, she's going to keep winning until she retires. Go.
The problem with that was that the fact
You know what?
was the fact that they did that whole big time Bex thing. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
That's what killed all of the
Hmm.
man stuff. That's what killed that whole
Yeah.
Hollywood and
Still do that
yada yada
horrible
yada. Yeah,
graphic.
exactly. So they killed all of that momentum that she built up. This whole man thing that was behind, like you guys said, that it was getting as big as the Yes Chance. It was getting as big as that. But they killed it off with this whole big
Yeah.
time Bex, Hollywood, changing the hairstyle, wearing these funny looking clothes, and it was oh god, it
Big
was a shit show.
glasses.
Yeah, I didn't like it, and it wasn't Becky. It
Yeah.
was not
They,
Becky.
they yeah. They tried to make her a female Seth Rollins. No. Seth Rollins, his flamboyancy and his new gimmick that he has right now comes off naturally. Becky Lynch, it doesn't come off naturally for her. The flamboyance, the fancy clothes, the big jackets, it doesn't come off naturally. She's a t-shirt and jeans type of person. She's a t-shirt and jeans, dirty boots, stomp a mud hole in your ass. That's it. Good old last. You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna do what they're gonna do because it's the WWE.
This is true.
It's the WWE. That's the only time. It's the only thing you could just say
And
sometimes. The
like I tell
WWE.
everybody, they own everything. They can do as they please.
Yep. So with that, we moved on to round two, where the first pick of round two, pick number 5 overall, was the Street Profits, which again, once again, doesn't make sense that they're drafted over Edge, Bobby Lashley, but I digress. So for the Street Profits, their strength, and I know P's gonna have something to say because he loves Angelo Dawkins. The strength of the Street Profits is Montez Ford. That's the strength of the Street Profits. That Montez Ford is a star. Their weaknesses. Here's their weakness. They have the Bray Wyatt disease. They talk a lot. They do a lot of this. Then they get in the ring and they lose. That's the Street Profits' weakness. They lose too much. I can't even think of. Be honest. Ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. When the Street Profits get a title shot, do you ever think they're gonna actually win it? I don't. I think they're gonna lose every time they get a title shot. Um, and I think that my projection, and I said this earlier, my projection for the Street Profits is that Montez Ford is going to turn heel. But I'm also super open to what Petey Stunt said that the Street Profits together might turn heel. I would love that. It looked like they was flirting with that a few months ago. I forgot who they was beefing with. I forgot who they were beefing with. They was beefing with somebody, and they were starting to be more edgy, be more heelish. And then all of a sudden, the next week came, and they was back doing this, and Red Solo Cup, and all that stuff. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know what match you're talking about because Montez had got rolled up during that championship match, but his hands were on the got up. He said, why the F did the match stop?" And he kind of like, and it audible, and you could hear the frustration. That's when they should have turned heel. I don't know if you guys remember that match. Um, I don't know if it was for the Raw Tag Team Championships or the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I forgot what pay-per-view, but yeah, to audibly upset. He was kind of like looking around like, why did the match stop? That should have been the heel turn right there.
I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
going with what I think is that again they just need to turn heel. They're due for a heel run. Because their face run, whenever somebody's face, when they two face, it becomes stale. That's like the Bianca Belair. Her stuff is just very stale. You know what I'm saying? So they definitely need a heel run, and I think if they do a heel run, they could get those titles. They could get those
I
titles.
agree.
They
I
could
can see
capture
that.
those titles because they're phenomenal talent. Just like I
Hmm.
said about Solo, they're phenomenal talent. Oh my God, Montez
Yeah.
Ford is a true high flyer. He's a great talent. Angelo Dawkins also he has come up a way. He's come up a way, right? He's doing his thing now. He's putting on a great show.
Yes.
He's high flying it for a big guy. He's doing high fly stuff that he shouldn't even be doing. I just want these type of teams to not be stale, and they need to be healed. That's the only way it's gonna work. Only way it's gonna work for them at this point in time. Cause like Dee said, they ain't getting no titles right now. Not where they're at right now. Come on. The only way you can beat Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens is you a heel team. Or unless they turn heel and you face and then you win and you get the big old parade and stuff like that. But them guys are gonna be face for a while. They're gonna be
Yep.
face for a while. So yeah, they need a really good heel team to take those titles from them. And Street Profits can do it if they turn heel, but they're not gonna do it right now. They're not. It's not happening.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I think the same thing. But we can only hope and look towards the future. Hope that that heel run comes sooner than later. The next pick was Monday Night Raw. They had pick number 6, and they took what has to be, and I'm going to repeat the same thing. Well, has to be the hottest, one of the hottest acts right now in professional wrestling. Imperium. They took Imperium
Yeah.
specifically because of their strength. The strength of their group is Gunther, and the fact that their entire stable can wrestle. There's not one person in that group that can't wrestle. I'm talking about like actual wrestling, not pew 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 high flying. I'm talking about actual get you on the ground, grab your arm and twist it off your body wrestle. All of them guys can wrestle. The
Mhm.
weaknesses is that honestly, I think Imperium needs a fourth member. It could be a woman, it could be a man. They need a fourth member. I think I can't remember who I told. I think it was Ty. I told him the weekend we were at WrestleMania. I told him I would love for their fourth member to be Ilya
Yeah.
Dragunov. I would love for their fourth member to be Ilya Dragunov. I think that'll
Mm,
be like the perfect fit for their group
Yeah.
because
mm.
he's almost like a Butch type of guy for that group, like a wild card. All those guys are stoic. They calm. They come in. They do their whole they do their whole thing. And you got Dragunov who's just like and all that stuff Dragunov does. You put Dragunov in there, I think that'll pop. My prediction for the Imperium is that Gunther becomes the world champion. Book it. Book it. Gunther will have that big gold belt around his waist by
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
yeah, he's gonna have that belt around his waist. That's a promise. He'll take it. Seth might get it first, but Gunther's gonna be the one to take it from him. And
That's
I
the
also
whole
think,
reason why. That's the whole reason
yep,
why he's on Raw.
yep, and I think that Vinci and Kaiser will get the tag titles around their waist at some point. All right, go.
I 100% agree. And yes, I do remember the conversation I had in LA. Put the Mad Russian, put the Mad Russian in Imperium. You need to put him in Imperium. Like you said, he would be the butch of the group, the wild card. He can do the pose, that bell ring, really dragging off time. And pretty good mid card champion if he was brought up to the main roster in that group. Imperium is going to be wearing gold by WrestleMania 40. All of Imperium because the mat is sacred. I'd also like to elaborate. Yes, yes. Big gold belt, put it on Gunther. After you put it on Seth, put it on Gunther because the man's got into shape to keep his job because of certain bosses who are maniacs, but we don't talk about that right now. But you can tell how much he loves this and how much he appreciates this, and he deserves to be a world champ. Go.
Ooh, don't that world title look good on Gunther? I'm just sitting here thinking about it as you guys are talking. It's giving me goosebumps right now. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm not even lying. I'm not trying to be funny or nothing like that. Not looking for clout. I'm really thinking I'm getting goosebumps because seeing Gunther with that belt, man, he already looks cool with the Intercontinental title, doesn't he? He looks cool with that title.
Yeah.
He actually made that belt look a lot more cooler than it did before with other people that had it. Yes, put Dragunov in that group. Hell yes. Hell yes. Put him in that group. All right. They need to create a belt for every member. Everybody should have gold. Everybody should have gold. If 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 Dragunov can't get it in the Continental title, bring something else like the light heavyweight title or something. Something where smaller guys can have their chance to have some gold too. Because Dragunov isn't he's not a big guy. He's a smaller guy. He's smaller out of the but he's way smaller than them guys in that group. I think Gunther will win that title. It's about when he will win that title. And I think once Seth gets his hands on that belt, he's going to go through the Cody phase. Cody's going to lose. Gunther's going to challenge. Gunther's going to challenge. Or they might do it, let Gunther challenge first or whatever. He's going to get that belt some way, somehow. But the question is when he's going to get it. I'm hoping he gets it before WrestleMania. I want him to have that belt before WrestleMania. I do. I truly do. I'm not lying. I want him to have that belt before WrestleMania because that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, he definitely fits the bill of somebody who I think would be a credible world champion. That's for sure. Um, our next pick in the second round, pick number 7, was from SmackDown, and it was the rated R superstar Edge. His weakness, his strength, being a legend. He's a legend, point blank, period. His weakness is time. And that's going to lead me to my prediction, my projection. Between now and WrestleMania, maybe even at WrestleMania 40, Edge will retire from WWE. Now, let me be a little put a little bit more detail in that. There's no way, and I mean there's no way that Edge is not going to have a final match with Christian. I don't see that happening. If
Mm,
Edge is so if it's so important to Edge having, because remember they were saying that Edge was saying, oh, he wants to retire in Toronto. If that's not important to Edge, then why wouldn't we think? And keep this in mind. This is gonna blow your mind. Who is Edge friends with AEW? Dax, Hardwood, and Cash Wheeler, correct? Those are his
mm-hmm,
guys. Who's
mm-hmm.
at AEW? Christian. There's no way in hell to me
Hmm.
that after Edge retires from WWE, that he doesn't go have his real final match be Edge and Christian versus FTR. FTR signed the contracts, they're at AEW locked in. That match got to happen before Edge hangs it up completely. If he wants to have his last match in Toronto, it should be just as important to Edge to have one last match with Christian, something he didn't get to do since he's been back. They got to have that match. I think he's going to retire from WWE, and I think he's going to get a one-off in AEW. He'll tell Vince, whoever, he'll say, "Look, I'm just going to do this match. I'm going to do this, and I'm loyal to you guys, but just like Jericho, I got to do this." And that's what I think is going to happen. Go.
You know, yeah, I would actually love to see that. Edge and Christian versus FTR, and edging up the boots. But right now, what I see Edge doing for the rest of his time in WWE is just having good edges, matches that are going to make us jump out of our seat and cheer for the rated R superstar and be excited every time somebody gets speared because he has one of the best spears in wrestling. But FTR versus Edge and Christian, and Edge. That is a dream, and I would love to see that.
With Edge, yeah, time is definitely not on his side. But he can still go. Edge can still go. Edge can still put on a fantastic match. He can still put on a just about a 5-star match if he really wants to. He can still take the bumps. Um, the wrestlers that he's those guys are very safe with Edge. So yeah, he could definitely still go. I would like to see Edge and Christian together one more time for the final time. FTR, yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome. Um, Something in the back of my head, real quick, is I don't know why I have this image of seeing Edge and Christian versus the Hardys one last time. I I
That's
don't know.
another
I don't know
match.
why
That's
it's in the
another one.
back of my head for some reason of seeing Edge and Christian versus the Hardys. One more time. Jeff is looking good. He's sobered up. You know, he look like he's ready to go. I don't know why that's in the back of my head. As much as I FTR, yes, it will be a fantastic match. You know, but like I said, it's about time for Edge to hang it up, and so something has to happen soon. It has to happen soon, and I'm hoping as soon as 2024. Because ain't his contract is in next year, right? It ends next year or at the end of
I
this
think
year.
so. I'm not sure. I think so though.
Yeah, so it has to happen soon, and it wouldn't be no better place than having it in Toronto.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I agree with that. Definitely got to send Edge out on a high note. Our next pick in the second round, and our last pick for round two actually, is pick number 8 for Monday Night Raw, and it is Bro Matt Riddle, which I'm sure is going to be
Mm-hmm.
an interesting one. I have a strength theory is he's a fan favorite. A lot of people like Matt Riddle. A lot of people like to smoke. Matt Riddle's a smoker. You know, it all adds up. His weakness is reliability. You talked about Jeff Hardy when you just were talking, Petey. Kind of got the same thing going on with Matt Riddle, where it's like, okay, are you going to do what you're supposed to do to be around to live up to what we think you can live up to? His projection for me is that he is going to have a feud with a heel Randy Orton. What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely.
Yes.
I've been waiting to hear. I've
Yes.
been waiting for this talk for a minute. Definitely, it's coming. It's coming. I've been every time, kid. Every time. What I tell them, these, oh man, Randy Orton's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. Yeah, they. I think they're throwing us off a little bit. I
Yeah.
think they're throwing us off for some reason. I think they're just throwing us off, and they want to do it at the perfect time. And he's already looking good. He's in top shape. He shaved his head. He has all. He's looking like 2019 Randy right now. This will be the perfect time. Matt Riddle just got put onto a different show. Randy Orton could be that wild card. You know what I'm saying? That didn't get picked on because they didn't. We don't know until tomorrow. We won't know. Maybe Randy will get that. Maybe he will get drafted. If he
Mm.
don't, he's a wild card. He's the type of guy where he's a wild card. He's on the level of John Cena. He can go wherever he wants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I see the prediction of real quick. Randy coming back. RK bro. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's go. This and the third. And then out of nowhere, right? Out of nowhere, there it is. Hits him with it. Boom. That sets up another story for him. Now he got to get through that story because I'm gonna tell you why, Ty. I'm gonna tell you why. When I was watching what was that SmackDown? When I was watching and I was like, he's throwing out little hints. Remember, Matt Riddle was backstage and he was like, "Yeah, I know how it feels, Sammy. I was part of a team called RK Bro with Randy Orton." I'm like, "Oh, he's name dropping. He's name dropping." When I hear name dropping, that just tells me that person is close to coming back at some point. So yes, I cannot wait for that story to unfold. Oh my God, it's gonna be sorry.
Yeah. It will also give Matt Riddle something to do. It will give Matt Riddle to do on the main roster because even before his little hiatus that he took, he was doing goofy stuff with Elias, I believe, and instruments and stuff. And I'm all like, I don't know what I'm watching, but I'm just gonna keep watching to see what's gonna happen here. And of course, nothing happened. And then he took his hiatus. Now he's back. Bring Randy back, just like Petey said. Bro, yeah, RK bro, woo, yeah, jumping around and all that good stuff. Bam, the three most dangerous letters in the WWE, the RK. Hit that boy with it. Maybe need some knock some sense into him.
Oh man, yeah, definitely, man. He sometimes he does need to probably get some sense knocked into him a little bit. All right, so now we're gonna move on to round three, and in round three, the first pick was made by good old SmackDown, and it was our guy Ty. I
You
said it.
already
Ty, Ty,
know. It's me, Leo Rush.
and he and so our pick in number 9 in round three was Bobby Lashley, and I think that his strength is his believability. I mean, let's be honest. Bobby Lashley, if he beat up Brock Lesnar, I believe it. If he beat up Roman Reigns, I believe it. There's nobody on the roster who, if somebody said, "Hey man, Bobby Lashley beat up yada 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 yada," I'll be like, "Okay, I believe it." His weakness is that his mic skills, specifically when he's a face. I can't stand face Bobby Lashley. I just can't. For heel Bobby Lashley, he could get by with just being intense and being tough, kind of like intense Kurt Angle. Like I'm just tough. I'm just like, but face Bobby Lashley, then, like I can't do it, man. I just can't do it. And all
Yeah.
and all that. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't stand Bobby Lashley as a face. My projection for Bobby Lashley, and I don't know at this point. I can imagine since Gunther went to Monday Night Raw, I can imagine that Austin Theory is going to go to SmackDown. I think that Bobby Lashley will obtain the U.S. title between now and WrestleMania. He'll challenge. I think he'll challenge for Roman's title, but I think that ultimately the belt that he'll actually get around his waist is going to be the United States Championship. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yeah. I think he will be the United States champion once more because he's just a really good. I mean, he's a very good main card champion when he's heel. When he's face, he's more of a mid card champion, in my opinion. But when he's not doing the dun, 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 with his fist to the music, then it's all like he needs to have a main championship around his waist. But when he's being a goofball, little milk dud, you know, then he doesn't need a main championship around his waist. Go
I'm
ahead,
gonna
PD.
just go ahead and address
This
the
is your boy,
elephant in the
Petey.
room.
Petey, this is your
I'm
boy.
I'm
Go
I'm
ahead.
gonna address the elephant in the room right now. His biggest weakness to me, and man, these you know it, it just irks the hell out of me. Is his dun 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 dun, dun standing on the podium, him doing this, and the whole gladiator dun 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 dun. Oh my god, man, that is the biggest weakness to me. They need to get rid of that crap. Please get rid of that crap. That makes him look even worse. That makes him look even worse. You know, and he definitely needs somebody to talk for him because he's not a good talker. He's not a good promo guy. So he definitely would need somebody to talk for him. That's why it was better suited for him to be with MVP. And I think he needs to get back with MVP. They need to come back with the Hurt Business, a new Hurt Business.
Yeah.
Um, bring in Carmelo when he drops the belt. Hell, he can bring Carmelo when he has the belt. That seems to what WWE is going for. They selecting people who got belts to come on to the show anyway. So they definitely need to have Bobby link up with
Mhm.
somebody who can do the talking for him. That makes you know what's crazy? That right there single handedly made Bobby look ferocious, made him look like a killer, made him look hella strong, made him look like he can beat anybody because he had the mouthpiece for that was doing it for him while he was doing all the damage. That gave him all the strength and all the motivation. Now he's doing a pump, fist pumping the crowd like he's at a rave, and he's dum 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 like it's just too much. It's too much, man. Only you guys can agree. It's just way too much at once. Like, just keep it simple with Bobby. Have him come
Yeah.
out, whoop some ass,
Yes.
get the belt, go home. That's it. Have celebration. Have pop some champagne or something.
Yeah, man. I think we definitely so far I have to say as far as being in WWE, peak Bobby Lashley was Hurt Business Bobby Lashley, and they need to get back to that because when Bobby Lashley is in Hurt Business,
Yes.
business is good. We're gonna move on to round three. Pick number 10, Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre. Once again, I'm gonna use this word again. his strength to me is his believability. If anybody said Drew beat up somebody on the roster, I could almost believe it. Brock would have been the only one who I wouldn't have believed. But the fact that I see him kick Brock's head off like multiple times, I believe it now. His weakness is his character. His current character is his weakness. Like, if the reason why he hasn't been on TV is because he's sick of his character, the way he's booked, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Because I want to sit at home too. If they made me come out with a sword that I'm not going to use, just come out just to do all that. Uh, my projection for him is that Drew McIntyre between now and WrestleMania, his character will change and his character will be closer to something resembling the Scottish Psychopath. He's gonna stay. He's gonna stay and re-sign with WWE. He's not going to AEW. He's gonna stay with WWE because WWE puts him on way too many commercials, promotes him way too much. He's not going anywhere, and he's going to become the world champion on Monday Night Raw. If all three, if both of those, if those two things happen, he will re-sign with WWE. If they change him closer to the Scottish Psychopath and they put the world championship on him, he's not going nowhere because that's all they say he wants is to be pushed better. And I think that's what, just like you said with Gunther going around, Petey, I think one of the reasons Drew McIntyre is going to Monday Night Raw is so he can get that world title around his waist and make him happy, make him stay with the company. And if they do that, they need to make sure his character is the Scottish psychopath when he does that. Not this, whole sword swinging Highlander Drew McIntyre. No. What do you guys think?
I 100% agree. Like, drop the Highlander gimmick. Like, that's like not cool. Highlander gimmick, not cool. He does need to go back to being the Scottish psychopath. Go back to the hair dripping down in his face, throws his head back and and all that cool stuff in the spotlight and that you know what I'm talking about, the cool entrance that he had before the sword entrance.
Mm-hmm.
The sword entrance is cool for like a video game, but like real life, like no, that's not cool. Lame as hell. Because he doesn't use the sword. Like you said, he does not use the sword at all. So why does he need a sword? Like, he's not threatening people with the sword. I can see if he's threatening people with the sword and like pointing it at people, like, I'm gonna drive this into your eye if you don't give me my title shot. Then yeah, sword. But if like no, then get rid of the sword. And I don't blame him
He
for
should
sitting
have
at home. I'd be unhappy.
he should have been got rid of that sword a long time ago. They should have got rid of that, man. They should have got rid of that. Drew is a great talent, man. He's a good, act. The guy he's powerful as hell. He definitely needs a character change now that he's on Raw, and I would love to see the Scottish Psychopath back. I would love to see that. That character right there really made him more believable. Like, this guy, oh, he's gonna come out and kick my ass. He's gonna come out and really give it to me. But this whole swinging the sword, wearing the skirt, and all of that stuff, and saying hoo ha and
Yeah.
all of that, we'll rise together and all that stuff. It just doesn't work for him because that's not Drew. That's not Drew. That's not Drew. We all know it's not
No.
Drew. I would rather him come back as the chosen one if that was the case. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather him be the
Yeah.
chosen one instead of that. If you can't give me the Scottish psychopath, give me the chosen one. Then either one was better. Either one is good. It just one was younger than the other one. You
Yeah.
know, I man, I just really hope they change that direction. And he will be world champion again once he does get that direction change. And who's to say he might go against Gunther for the belt?
Hey,
Hmm?
hey, you
That
know
will
what?
be.
I could definitely see that happening. That's like one of the main things I thought of. Um, our next pick was, to me, this pick was probably one of the biggest surprises of the first part of the draft. Round three, pick
Yes.
11, SmackDown was the
Yeah.
OC. I did not expect that. That's like I
Yeah.
and the reason one of the
Yeah.
reasons why I didn't expect that is because I forgot that the OC existed. The OC's biggest strength is AJ Styles. I think
Yes.
AJ Styles,
Yeah.
Michin, Gallows, and Anderson are living off of the lifeblood of AJ Styles. Um, their weaknesses is that they're very, 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 very poorly booked. Very poorly booked. Either they not on TV or they losing. And then when they on TV winning, they beating an irrelevant team. Like, we gotta do something to get the
Yeah.
OC back where the OC need to be. But here's my projection between now and WrestleMania. And it has nothing to do with AJ Styles. My projection for the OC from now to WrestleMania is that Gallows and Anderson will return to being a respected tag team in the WWE. If the WWE really puts some, I really, for some reason, in my heart of hearts, I believe that the WWE is about to fix both of their tag team divisions. I'll get to the women
Mhm.
in a little bit
Mhm.
later. But I think they're going to fix it. And I think the whole because otherwise they would have just drafted AJ Styles and then just let the OC or whatever just dissipate. The fact that they kept them together makes me believe that they're going to do something good with Gallows and Anderson because AJ Styles don't need nobody to succeed. What do you guys think?
Oh man. Oh man. I was not expecting to see AJ on. Oh, I was not expecting to see AJ Friday night, man. Oh man, he looks good. He looks good, man. Man. Ah, I can't say enough. I'm a really big AJ Styles fan. And man, like D said, they got to book them strongly, man. They got to book them. You brung them in as a faction, book them strong as a faction. Book them strong as a faction. Have them win matches. Have them have good storylines. Have them good build-ups. Hell, you can have AJB future world champ again. Like they gotta book them strongly, man. You can't have AJB gone for all of these months and then have him come back just to be a mid card level talent. AJ is a main star. AJ is a main event star. Book him strong. Book him strong. He got his people behind him. You know what I'm saying? He got his guys. He got Meechin with him. Like you can book this team really good, man. I just need WWE to really take
Yeah.
their time and really figure this thing out because what you don't want is you don't want a whole bunch of factions on the show, but nobody's doing nothing. Storylines is just like, but nobody's going anywhere, and you still got Roman running around here with all the belts and this, that, and the third, and everybody just having these pointless storylines. Book them strong, man. The OC, man, they can be great. They can definitely be great. They're good in Japan. They're great in Japan. They're legends in Japan.
Yes.
Make that, bring that here.
Yes.
Bring that here. Bring that same
Yeah.
fire, that
And
same Bullet Club type of people here.
you just stole the words right out of my mouth, Petey, man. You just stole the words right out of my mouth. If you're gonna book the OC and something that me and the H have in common, we love us some Japanese pro wrestling. We watch it all the time. We love Japan and we love their wrestlers and we love what they do. Why don't you book the OC as an American Bullet Club? PG version of the Bullet Club. PG version of the Bullet Club.
And they can add one more
Is there
person.
something wrong with that? Exactly. They can add one more person. Good. I want it. I want a PG Bullet Club in the WWE. OC, make them a PG Bullet Club. I'd rather PG-13 Bullet Club, but WWE is gonna do WWE. So
Honestly, I wish they were still called just the club, to be honest. I mean, I'm old. I'm old,
To be
guys.
honest,
Newsflash, I'm
yeah,
old.
yeah.
You see the gray hair? I'm old. The OC is something completely different to me than it is to like these younger fans. To me, the OC was a TV show.
What
So,
does
so I mean, but I digress. I digress. Um, our last pick in round three, pick number 12 for Monday Night Raw, was a guy that I think we here all respect. It was The Miz. The Miz strength
yes,
is that he's a professional.
yes.
His strength is that he's a professional. The Miz weakness is that he's a professional. Now let me elaborate on that. The Miz, whatever WWE needs the Miz to do, he does it. If they need Miz to face the world champion and feud with the world champion, the Miz can do it. If they need the Miz to hold the mid card title, the Miz can do it. If they need the Miz to get beat up by celebrities, the Miz can do it. The Miz be signing autographs. The Miz be doing just as many make a wishes as John Cena. The Miz, the Miz, the Miz, the Miz and Maurice. Anything they need the Miz to do, the Miz does it. He's the consummate professional. He's a WWE lifer. You will never see the Miz in another company. I'm willing to risk my life on that. You will never see the Miz step in AEW unless WWE buys AEW. That's the only way. The Miz is gonna he's starting in WWE, he's gonna retire in WWE. But the Miz's biggest weakness is that he's a professional. He's a good hand. He's somebody who they could go to for the dirty work, for the little stuff they need. Like the Miz is past the point at this point. He's already a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. But the Miz is already past the point now where it's like, okay, yeah, let me see a title run out of the Miz. I think that's done. I think that let's see the last title run for the Miz. I think that happened when he had the title. When he had the WWE title and Bobby Lashley took it from. I think that was the Miz's last
hmm
little
Yeah.
Yeah.
title run right there. Um, but that's just the Miz. And my prediction for the Miz from now to WrestleMania is that he just continues to be whatever WWE needs to be, whatever they need him to be in.
The Miz is a certified legend. He's a certified legend. Miz no longer has anything to prove to anybody. He's worked his ass up. Excuse me. He's worked all the way up to where he is now. You know, from when he first started, from when he could even go into a locker room. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about the Miz for just a second. When the Miz came to WWE, Miz couldn't even step foot in the locker room. Nobody wanted him in there. True story. Nobody wanted him in there. Miz had to work his butt off to get to where he is today, and I respect him each and every way. Now, there was a point in time like, I don't know about this guy. You know, he's from the real world. I like him. I like Miz as, you know, who he was on TV and stuff, but I was like, I don't know about wrestling, man. I don't know. He might sure as hell shock the hell out of me. Became world champ multiple times. He's a Grand Slam champion. Miz has done it all. He's done it all. He has nothing else to prove. Miz could just sit back and just chill. He can sit back and just chill, just watch everybody else grow. And I like that about Miz, that they still show him respect too. They still show Miz respect. You know, he doesn't. You know what? He's one of those characters where he doesn't even need the world title anymore. He doesn't need it. He doesn't. He creates great promos. He has good matches. He puts on good shows. He does a lot of, like you say, he does a lot of work for WWE with the Make a Wish and Cricket and all these other shows, their own show. He makes them a
Yeah.
lot of money. Miz is going to forever be a what do you call it? A gold mine for WWE forever. And I respect Miz. If Miz was to retire today, I might drop a tear, but that's because I will be happy because of what he's been through and how he accomplished every single thing in this business. Hats off to the Miz. Hats off to the Miz. Just get
And
just
and yes, I do agree. The Miz really really worked really hard Yes. I remember the first time I saw the Miz on TV, and I'm a lot younger. I was what, eight in 2009, I believe him, and he came out with, I forgot what shirt, the I'm Awesome shirt, and he used to do the thing with the mic. He's like, I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome. And I used to be in my room, just a little kid, just like have a pretend mic in my hand. And I used to do it all the time. One of my favorite heels. That is something that the Miz will always be able to do. Be one of the greatest antagonists in all of pro wrestling. MJF is holding a candle to him, but MJF gets a lot of his antagonism from because the Miz is the original antagonist, the original bad guy. No Razor Ramon puns, but like the Miz can do it all. He can really do it all. And like Petey said, I'm definitely gonna shed a tear when he retires because one of my favorite feuds, an underrated feud, is between him and Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental Championship in 2016. They though him and Ziggler when they get on the mic together, oh my goodness, I don't remember the last time that that was crazy. So big respect to the Miz.
All right, big respect to the Mayors, guys. And now we are on the fourth and final TV round for the WWE Draft, Part 1. And we're on pick 13. Pick 13 for SmackDown was a very interesting pick. It's a pick known as Damage Control. Um, the strength of Damage Control is Io Shirai slash Sky because we know we all like Io Shirai and not this unnecessary change to Io Sky. It's her potential. Their weakness, and get this,
Mm-hmm.
the weakness of Damage Control is Damage Control. The
Hmm.
fact that they still exist.
Hmm.
My projection for Damage Control in between now and WrestleMania is that, matter of fact, let's take that back. My prediction for Damage Control within the next month or two is Damage Control is going to break up. I don't see that group. I don't see that group surviving past a week after Bianca Belair Io Sky's match. That group is on live support. That group should be on live support. It was cool, cool pop when they all appeared. Like, oh my god, I thought where did they come? That was cool for a second, but it's time. That group has worn out its welcome. They're annoying and boring. You know what? Their stable is so annoying and boring that you would almost believe that they were an AEW stable. That's how annoying and boring they are. You would think that they're from AEW. Um, guys, what do you think?
Mm-hmm. You know, I 100% agree. They're very annoying. They're very boring. Also, respect my Joshis. Put respect on the genius of this guy's name, Io Shirai. Like WWE, you go and you bring all these talents from the world, and it's all like I can name all the accolades that Io has in Japan. I know not everybody watches Stardom, but she's a former red belt champion, former um uh artist of Stardom champion with Mayu and Kairi Sane. Uh Again, multiple time red belt champion. She's a future of Stardom champion. Um she has so many accolades. She built Stardom with with Kyrie and Mayu. So to not put respect on someone who's busted their butt to get to America and put it all out there. I can even say the same for Dakota Kai, because Dakota Kai was a part of Stardom as well with Io Shirai. She was doing a little run with the Queen's Quest there for a minute, and you know those two women are very fantastic wrestlers. Bailey's fantastic, but it's not NXT Bailey. This is main roster Bailey. This is not the Bailey that me and Deez went to go see on SmackDown, and she pulled down the hood and pulled out the half axe and Bailey buddies, and that's not the same Bailey. This came back after her injury. She needs to go back to the old Bailey.
My focus is Io Shirai. Bailey, yeah, she's had a run.
Yeah.
Dakota Kai, yeah. You could just throw her in a match with Liv Morgan or something. I don't know. Io Shirai, it just I feel like Io Shirai, because think about it, she was a dominant women's champion in NXT, the genius of the sky, right? Now she gets stuck in this watered down, just really awful faction or whatever, and they just treating her like she's just secondhand Oscar or something. You know what I'm saying? I really want her to break away from that. I want them to get her away from that so she can really show why she was the NXT Women's Champion, why she held that belt, why she had a really good reign. You know what I'm saying? Let her beat Bianca, man. Let her beat Bianca. Okay, if Bianca gets the belt back, fine. But let her beat her. Let her win. It's time to let our Japanese wrestlers get a little bit more shine. I get it. Vince is somewhat still in control, right? So how he feels about Japanese wrestlers, we all know. He's not fond of them that much, you know? But it's time to let them get some shine. Let them win a title. Let them hold a world title. Shinsuke held it one time, and it was a terrible title reign. Terrible. Let her break away from that crap that she's in now.
Shinsuke didn't even get the hold one, Kid. Remember? He went to the Royal Rumble, won, and then lost. And got punched in the nuts or something like that.
No, but then he won it later, didn't he?
Nope.
They
never put it on him.
He turned heel. He turned heel because he low blowed AJ.
He turned heel, and then so they put the Intercontinental title on him
because he low blowed AJ at WrestleMania.
Oh man. Look, just let this girl break.
And everybody was talking about how that match was like a New Japan AJ versus Shinsuke for the WWE title, and they ruined it. So
you know what, Ty? Let me hold you right there because that's the perfect segue until our next pick for Monday Night Raw. Pick number 14 is actually Shinsuke Nakamura. While we're on the subject, my biggest strength for Shinsuke Nakamura is that Shinsuke is the total package, man. He has the charisma. He can go in the ring, man. Shinsuke is a very unique, legendary talent. His weakness is his booking, like we was just talking about. Stop disrespecting that man. But here's another thing. Raw, you know what? I think the more we go along the lines, it's starting to be a trend developing. I think Monday Night Raw is going to end up being better than SmackDown because Shinsuke is another guy who I can see going to Raw and winning a world title. That's like the fourth one that we have. Who do we have? We're just going to count Seth, even though we didn't talk about Seth yet because he's probably getting drafted tomorrow. Um, he's going to win the world title. Gunther is a challenger. Drew McIntyre is a challenger. Shinsuke Nakamura is a challenger.
Yeah.
The funniest thing is, the only person who I don't see with that belt is the top guy over there. That's Cody. So they got to figure something out. They got to figure something out. They better do a trade or something to put Cody on to put Cody, because Cody wasn't on SmackDown at all, right?
No,
So I would
no.
love to see what Cody
No.
says on Monday Night Raw. I want to see what Cody says tomorrow. Because if Cody says Roman Reigns is not getting away from me, I don't care who has to do it. You guys are gonna put me on SmackDown. Like we got to see. We got to wait to see what happens. But you putting all these guys on Raw, and oh my God, it's going to be the world heavyweight title scene is about to be a bloodbath. We don't even know everybody yet, but with Seth, Gunther, Drew McIntyre, Shinsuke Nakamura, we already can see the things being put into place. That takes me back to what Petey was talking to me earlier today when Triple H was saying, yeah, Roman Reigns title and he yada yada yada. This title over here, this title is for the people who come in here and bust their ass every day. This title is for guys like Shinsuke Nakamura. What do you guys think?
Mm, that's big.
Yeah. I like to see Shinsuke with the World Heavyweight Championship around. Like you said, Shinsuke is a very charismatic talent. For those who watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, knew how amazing Shinsuke was inside of the ring, and that when I see Shinsuke Nakamura on TV, he holds your attention with whatever he's doing. You just have to see what he's gonna do next. That's how fantastic Shinsuke Nakamura is, in my opinion. That's how good he is. He got a new video package. You know, he's going back to the king of strong style. Uh, so I'm excited to see what Nakamura does on Raw. He's definitely world heavyweight championship material.
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking about that too. So, considering that he just got attacked by Karrion Cross on SmackDown, so I'm guessing
He
they're going to put
did.
Karrion Cross on Raw as well because he didn't get drafted yet, did he?
Who?
No,
Karrion
Cross
Cross?
is not
Karrion Cross
drafted.
didn't get drafted yet.
No,
No,
Cross
that's
didn't
So
get
true.
he'll be
drafted.
drafted on Monday. So he has to do the story with Karrion Cross because it wouldn't make any sense to have Karrion Cross drafted over there and then you just completely forget about the story, which WWE has done before.
I can
But
see them doing that.
oh God, hope not. Hope not.
Yeah.
Let's not.
That's
Let's
why,
not pray on that. Let's
because
not
that's
pray
why
on
they
that. We're
already.
not even going to speak that in existence. No, 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 no. Draft him over to Raw. Draft him over to Raw. Have him do his feud with Karrion Cross, and then once he finished that, and then he can go on and have other feuds and stuff like that. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if Nakamura do win the World Rumble. Wouldn't be surprised if they did it
And
again.
and I know we're talking about Karrion Cross right now, and I know he wasn't drafted yet, but that's like if he gets drafted to Raw, that's another big guy that's world heavyweight championship material. Like
I
he's got the
definitely,
entrance, he's got he can't talk on the mic though,
I
but
definitely
you know
see.
like he's
I feel like if Karrion Cross goes to Raw, I feel like a good spot from him will be him filling in that void that Gunther's going to leave when he wins the World Heavyweight title.
Mm,
Because Gunther moving up to the World Heavyweight title picture, that's going to allow the other guys, the mid tier guys, to be able to win that belt. Because right now, to me, Gunther's a big fish in a small pond. He needs to go to the main title picture.
Correct.
Has to. Um, and so now let me sit up now because now I'm gonna get real serious here. I want to talk about our next draft picks.
Oh man.
Round four, pick 15,
Yeah, I love.
SmackDown, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Okay, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn. If anybody here watching this is a fan of the website Crimson Mask, crimson-mask.com, and you read my segments, Hot Fire Trash. A few weeks ago, I wrote a segment about Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. I'll be the first to admit, when NXT 2.0 started, I basically stopped watching NXT. So I honestly think out of us three, I'm the one who's least knowledgeable about NXT, this version of NXT. The old version of NXT, I watched it every week. This version, I'm the least knowledgeable about it. I seen the entrance for Alba Fire Isla Dawn one time. It was my first time ever seeing it. I stood up when I seen it and I said, that is what a women's tag team champion looks like. Those women, they could drop those belts to Kate Canizaro, whatever her name is now, whatever their name is, and leave NXT. You put those WWE women tag team titles on those two women immediately. They have the look. Alba Fire, I know for a fact she's a great wrestler. Isla Dawn, she has look. Their gimmick is on point. This gothy gimmick they doing right now is on point. Those two women, it's your opportunity. WWE, those two women are your opportunity to fix the women's tag team division and to fix the mistake you made when you screwed up the Iconics and split them up. Because the Iconics really should have been the tag team that those belts was on 90% of the time. This team is just like that. You put that on them immediately.
Yes.
I didn't even get to the strengths and weaknesses yet. The strengths is that aesthetics, the way they look. The weaknesses is NXT's track record for when they call up wrestlers. That's a
Mm-hmm.
weakness. You got to worry about that. But I think you
Hmm.
guys agree. The
Hmm.
whole, the whole, and the weakness of the WWE Women's Tag Team division is so deep. Their Women's Tag Team division is so bad that from day one, the minute they got drafted to the main roster, they're instantly the best women's tag team to me. Instantly, hands down, they're the best women's tag team to me. And I'll go further to say this: Isla Dawn hasn't even been on NXT that long. That tells me the fact that they got called up to the main roster that quick as a tag team shows me that somebody in WWE seen it the same way I seen it. Like, oh man, our women's division sucks. Ooh, look at them. Man, they look good. Call them up. We got to put the belts on them. That's how it should have went down. And they're going to win those belts between now and WrestleMania. Guys, what do you think?
Trips did that. I believe Trips did that. And Michaels knew they was ready. Michaels knew they was ready. Trips did that. Trips made that call. Yep. I think they'll look pretty good. Um, excuse me. They'll look pretty good. They of course they're gonna need a little work because now they're on the main roster. We gotta see how they do. We gotta see how they
Mm-hmm.
fare with Rhonda and Shayna and Liv and Raquel Rodriguez, which is also I have no idea what are they doing with her, why she's not world champion, and the list goes on and on and on. So I'm excited to see how these women do. They look good in the ring. They look like they can, hang with the best of them on the main roster. Only time will tell. And just like Dee said, NXT track record of call ups is not that great. So that's one of those ones where we got to keep our fingers crossed and just keep an open mind of what WWE could do with them. Don't split them up right away. don't split them up right away. They
Mm-mm.
need an iconic run,
Yeah.
the real icon, how iconic should have been ran. They need that same run. Don't split them up because when you start splitting up things, things getting misconstrued. Now one of them is at the very bottom. Now look at Shotzi from crying out loud. You know what I'm saying? She, oh man, they completely ruined her. So don't split these girls up right now. Let them be dominant. Let them run rapid in there. I don't care. Let them do whatever. So that's what I'm
And
gonna say
and I'll
about that.
add and I'll add to the end of what you're saying there, P. And honestly, WWE, if you can't get it right with these two women, just eliminate the WWE Women's Tag Team belts.
Mm,
Eliminate them. Shoot them off into the sun. If you're going to keep using those belts to put, if you okay, because right now I don't know what they think now, but here's how I feel. They look at the Women's Tag Team belts. All right. You're not doing anything, and you're not doing anything. You guys are a tag team now. Here's the belts. That's how I feel like they look at it. That's how I feel like they look at it at this point.
yeah,
You know, they and WWE has to change that if they're going to keep those belts around.
yeah.
WWE is going to have to change that, and eventually it'll have to pop off. We lost Ty for a second, so we're gonna move on. When he gets back, we'll bring him back in here. We're gonna go over to our next pick. Our next pick in round four, pick number 16, is Indy Hartwell.
Ooh,
Indy Hartwell, that was a unexpected pick. I did not expect her
no.
to be picked because I feel like she just now started to get to where she's getting her footing as a singles wrestler in
Mm-hmm.
NXT. But they
Mm-hmm.
called her up. So her strength to me, and I honestly think this is the only reason she got called up. Her strength to me is the potential return of the intergender couple, um, Index. I think Index is the reason why she got called up. Her weakness is going to be real easy for her to get lost in the shuffle. You just said in your last little statement, P, that you brought up Shotzi Blackheart. I think Indy Hartwell is definitely at risk of being a Shotzi Blackheart, a Candice
Oh,
LeRae. Somebody who gets called up and then gets jettisoned, put into the background um, of the women's division. But I do think that she will return and form index with Dexter Loomis. Will form index with Dexter Loomis, and they will be index. They'll come together as index, and that the index is going to be a fan favorite. And that's kind of just how I see things going for Indy Hartwell. What do you guys think?
man, you heard me. Oh, I got love for Indy, man. I got a lot of love for Indy, man. I hope she don't get lost in the shuffle, man. I hope that they treat her with some kind of respect, man, and let her get, get her talent off out there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do have to agree. It's easily to get lost in the shuffle when you got Charlotte, when you got Rhea, which is she's just well, she's now a successful story. You got Bianca, you got countless others, name after name after name. It can get very hard to try to compete with those women, man. And Indy, yes, she does. She is a little bit rough around the edges. She still needs a little bit of tweaking going on with her, with her move set and stuff like that. But she's overall a great talent. She has it. She has that. She has that star power to be something bigger, to have her women's title shot and stuff like that, to be in the main event of shows. But man, I just don't want her to get lost in the shuffle. I really don't. I really don't. Maybe my hopes is just too high for her right now. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I got too much high hopes for her right now. Maybe I need to chill on having so much high hopes for her, because of WWE's track record on burying NXT talent that gets called up. Yes, it was a true shocker. She just got the title. She just got the title. She just put the strap on. She just got comfortable with it, and now here she goes. So now the question is, who is she dropping the title to?
I'm not gonna
Tiffany
even say her
Stratton?
name. I was gonna say I'm
And
not even gonna say her
uh,
name because I want her to get called up. I want her to get called up.
Is she gonna drop
wait,
it to
wait,
Tiffany
wait. Who
Stratton?
would you gonna say? Was you gonna say Roxanne Perez? Oh, Tiffany
No, I was gonna
Stratton.
say, yeah. I love Tiffany Stratton. I love me some Tiffany Stratton.
Who were you gonna say? You was gonna say Roxanne Perez?
I was gonna say Tiffany Stratton.
Oh,
All right, Ty, what do you think about Indy Hartwell going up to Monday Night Raw?
uh, really big NXT fan. Love it. I catch it every Tuesday. Uh, I like Indy. I like Indy. Her little story, like what Petey was saying with Dexter Loomis, Index and all that. Need to bring them back together. Um, but another thing that Petey was talking about is I'm afraid she's gonna get lost in the shuffle, man. Too many other big names around you on that main roster. So many big names. Like I don't want her to get lost in the shuffle. And plus, I believe she is injured right now. Because
Hmm.
when on SmackDown, when they were calling up the NXT stars, she did have a what looked like a cast on. So I don't know if she's gonna drop the belt, be off of TV for a while, injury, come back as either a face or a heel. So we also need to watch out for that.
Mm, that's a good point.
Okay.
That's a real
Yeah.
good point.
Yeah. I didn't even see her have a cast on. So yeah, I mean, maybe she'll just show up
Yeah,
on
she
Tuesday and
had a
just
cast
Because
on her form.
maybe
maybe
she'll
there's
just show up
maybe
on
there's a
Tuesday
deeper
and just hand
story.
it over. Yeah.
Oh, like how they did Solo. Remember they made Solo do that when he got
Yeah.
called up.
Oh yeah, that is what they do. They just Shawn Michaels just took the belt like, hey, give me that.
Yeah. Oh wow.
All right, guys. So that's the
Hey, give me
end.
that.
So that's the end of the regular draft segments. So the next segment that we had was the supplemental draft. That's what we're going to call it. The draft that took place that wasn't on TV. And this one's done a little bit different. Raw had multiple picks. SmackDown had a couple picks. So we're just going to run through these picks really quick. And we're just going to get them out the way. So Raw's first pick was the Viking Raiders. Um, Again, I'll say this. I've been saying this for I don't know how long. They bought back Sarah Logan and named her Valhalla when in reality, they should have just called the tag team itself Valhalla. That's a way cooler tag team name. And I don't know, I feel like they dropped the ball on that. Um, if WWE's plan is to improve the tag team division, then, it'll be a good thing for the Viking Raiders. If not, then they'll continue to just be a team that just shows up and does stuff for the sake of doing stuff. What do you guys think?
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I agree. Should have just named their whole team Valhalla. Uh, and there was a whole thing going on between Sarah Logan and another female. Another from another company called Max the Destroyer because they both wear the same face paint and all that. That's a whole different story. But should have just named the whole team Valhalla and let her and I forgot the other guy's name. I'm not really a Viking Raiders fan. Eric and whatever his partner's name is.
Ivar.
Let them do Viking Raider things. Like they're supposed to be big bad. Yeah, Ivar. They're supposed to be big bad Vikings, but right now they look like who we aren't doing too much. They're not doing too much. I like to see them a lot more, please. Like with the new with the new like with the shields and them attacking the New Day. Now that's Viking Raiders mentality. They stopped doing it. Why? For what reason?
I'm gonna go on a limb real quick, and I'm gonna just say what I real quick about them. Um, yeah, I agree. They should have just been called Valhalla. You can't. Why would you name just a woman by herself? Like, just call the whole group that. I never liked the Viking Raiders thing. Never. I miss War Machine. I never liked the whole entire Viking Raiders thing. Period. Since it started happening, since they started calling it, I always thought it was stupid. I'm sorry, if Vince, whoever you're watching this, the name was stupid from the beginning. You know it. It didn't make any sense to call them Viking Raiders at all. Period.
They was the
Should
Viking
now it should.
experience too.
Oh, the Viking experience. Oh my god. Oh, that name was so horrible. I forgot. I literally forgot. I forgot. Um, but yeah, man, like Ty was saying, them guys should be in there busting heads, man. They should be in there busting heads and getting ready to win them titles. They should have a title. They should already have some belts on them or something. They haven't done nothing since they've been
Yeah.
repackaged. They haven't done anything. They ain't done squat. Nothing. Nothing. They've been getting their butts kicked by the street profits. They ain't doing nothing. Or whoever's kicking their butt right now, they just oh god, they becoming stale all over again. Like change the name, change the outfits, just put the sword in the shields down and all that crap, and just have them guys come out there and be rough as hell. That's it. That's all I got for them.
Simple as that. Simple as that. The next pick for Raw was Dexter Loomis. Like I said, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet with these last few wrestlers. Dexter Loomis, I think right now his biggest contribution would be reuniting with Indy Hartwell and forming Index. That's what I think Dexter Loomis' future looks like on Monday Night Raw.
I agree. I 100% agree. Bring back Index. You know, that's pretty much it. Bring back Index. We all want it. WWE, the fans want it. We want Index.
Yeah, just keep him um the same. I mean, what more can you do with Dexter? Yeah, just let him form the group. I mean, form Index again, and let that be that. Dexter. I like Dexter. I do. I like his style. I like the way he does his whole little Michael Myers thing or whatever. So that's all I'm saying about Dexter.
Raw's next pick was Candice LeRae. I mean, I don't have too much to say about Candice LeRae. I'm pretty sure this means Johnny Gargano is also getting drafted to Raw. Um, and I think what's hurt Candice LeRae is that her and Johnny have both been like banged up. So I'm hoping that they get together and they just do a little bit more with them, or get Tommaso Ciampa back in and just really like try to recreate some of that magic from NXT Gold. What do you guys think?
Is Tomaso still? What is he on? He was on the
Yeah.
injured list.
Yeah, he's still injured. Yeah.
Yeah. Tommaso still, and yeah. And I feel like when we were in LA, we all had this conversation, and D'Angelo brought it up. Rewrite that whole story for to the main roster. Rewrite that whole story with Tommaso and Johnny and bring it back to the main roster. And probably throw Candice LeRae in there somewhere.
Yeah, because the piggyback a little bit. The main roster never got to see that. They never got to see that magic that they created in NXT. So that would be a good storyline to throw in there, within all the other storylines going on to, keep the fans really engaged and what the, into Johnny, because Johnny hasn't been doing diddly squat since he's been back. He's been losing matches. He's win here and
Yeah.
there, but he hasn't done anything. Candice LeRae is pretty much a punching bag. So, yeah, just let them recreate that story when he does get back. I don't want to see Tommaso with no green and purple on anymore. I don't want to see that. I want to see I want to see Daddy's home Tommaso. That's what I want to see. Daddy's home, Big Goldie and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So yeah, let them recorrect. I wouldn't mind that. You know what I'm saying? That would actually give me a chance to rewatch that on the main roster and really enjoy that as well. So yeah.
Well, the next pick for Monday
To
Night Raw
to go off of um,
yeah, we done with that. We done with because we talking
oh,
about Candice LeRae, not
okay.
Chopper and Gargano. Let's see. So next pick was Maximum Male
Okay,
Models.
okay.
Um, Maximum Male Models. I don't got nothing to say about them. To me, they're an enhancement talent tag team. Um, I don't even know why Masay and Mansoor or whatever his name is got drafted with them when the only thing that matters is Maxine and whatever she got going on with Otis. So I want to see how that plays out, but I don't really got nothing to say about Maximum Male Models.
Uh, yeah, I really don't have too much to say about them either. The Maxine thing. Yeah, we're mostly interested about is she gonna stay with Maximum Male Models or is she gonna go to the Alpha Academy?
The only thing funny the only thing I gotta say about them, somebody said when I was reading the post from Forbes about the World Heavyweight Championship, right? And somebody in the comment section was like, "Yeah, since Night of Champions is gonna be in Saudi Arabia, Mansoor is like the John Cena over there." So, yeah, he's gonna be the one to win the world title. I was like, I'm done. I am done. I am so done with the internet, man. Like, that's literally the stupidest thing I've ever heard. My sword will never win nothing. Marseille will never win nothing. And they will never be nothing. They're going to be a bunch of nothings. Maxine's going to leave them nothings and get with Otis. And if she do keep those nothings, Otis is going to be the leader because they are nothing. That is it. They're a bunch of nothings, a bunch of just comedy acts or whatever. I would rather see R-Truth just do a whole entire economy segment throughout the whole show than see them clowns. I have no interest of seeing them. I don't care for them. I
Yeah.
don't care for their work. They're not good wrestlers. We could just be done with them.
All right, we're gonna move on to the next pick for Monday Night Raw, which is which I honestly I like him as a wrestler, but I don't have much to say about him because I don't think he's gonna do anything. JD McDonough, I do not have a good feeling about him on the
No,
main roster.
no.
I don't know why he got called up. If the only reason he got called up, if they're inventing the cruiserweight title or light heavyweight title, I feel a lot better about JD McDonough on the main roster. But there's nothing he could do. Somebody's gonna end up turning him to Rockstar Spud or some other comedy act. Like I don't know why he got called up right now, and I don't know what kind of plan they have for him. I do know this, and this is his saving grace. I do know and do remember that they were trying to hold back on calling up NXT talents without having a plan for them. So maybe they have a plan for JD McDonough. Maybe JD McDonough is going to join Finn Balor or join Sheamus or something. We'll see. But if they're just going to put him by himself, I don't know what he's going to do. He's just a small guy with a big old head, and I don't know what they gonna do with JD McDonough. to be honest, like,
I'm sorry, I can't hold it in. I could hold it in because it's so true. Oh man, I'm not a McDonough fan like that. It was very nice to see him get emotional to get called up, but I think the only thing they could do for him is put him in the stable. That's it. Put him in the
you know
stable.
what? Look, you know what? I just thought about this. If Judgment Day breaks up, you know what I want JD McDonough to do? I want JD McDonough's character to be somebody that follow Finn Balor around all the time and kiss his ass. Like I want him to be like, yeah, Finn, yeah, you're right, Finn. Like Finn say something like, yeah, and I'm gonna kick your ass. Yeah, Finn's gonna kick your ass. Like just like a lackey for Finn Balor. Like honestly, I think that would be good. I think that'll be good. Like, yeah, he got to be a part of the stable if they not bringing back the light
Yeah.
heavyweight title.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ty?
Uh, I like JD McDonough. He fantastic wrestler, but like I don't feel like he's really gonna do too much on the main roster unless he's put in a stable. I I just he had a last good run in NXT because oh my goodness, could the guy go in NXT UK? And I watched NXT UK faithfully, like because I kind of missed uh from UK, but put him in the stable because he's really not going to do too much unless you're going to keep him doing his same gimmick where he's just all like stalking around.
Yeah, I mean that's all he can really do. I think we might have even less to say about the next pick for Monday Night Raw. Apollo Cruz. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, there's nothing like what. Okay, so what does Apollo go do at this point? He gonna go back to Raw and be like, "Yeah, I used to be a prince in Nigeria, but now, yada yada yada. Not can't I have no clue. Man, I honestly, if you call up Apollo, why you need Apollo when you got Cedric Alexander? If you're gonna put somebody in a match to lose, then you don't really like Apollo. Can we agree that he's gonna get called up to lose and just move on to the next person?
No. Mm-mm. I believe Apollo's going to get called up and he's going to have a good run because
His
I believe
NXT run was bad.
they sent Apollo back down
Yeah, it
to build
was.
himself back up. And from what I hear is that Apollo, what he got going on, and people like him. They actually like him down there. So I think with him being called back up, they're going to give him another shot. They're going to see what he got, and they're going to let him get another run. He might get the Intercontinental title once Gunther drops it to whoever. He might have that good feud or whatever. I don't know. But right now, he's the guy that can see in the future. He can see what's going on. He sees. He predicts it before it happens.
Ty, anything on
Uh,
Apollo?
poor Apollo. Should have just left him down in NXT. Not a big fan of Apollo. He has very athletic, but he just doesn't do it for me, man. He's just gonna be a punching bag like he was on the main roster when he first got called up.
Well, damn, Apollo, I tried to give you some. I tried to get you back a little bit. Nobody agrees. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I think it might be it for you, man.
Well, I got somebody. I got somebody for you to talk bad about our next person for Monday Night Raw. The Boat, Natalia. Oh man, you okay? Let me be nice. Let me be nice. I respect everything Natalia has done in her professional career, but I feel everything now is forced with Natalia.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You put her in the title picture is because nobody else is in the title picture. Like I don't. Natalia's boring. She she's not believable as far as like she needs to retire. Like I'm sorry, I hate to say that. I hate to say that. Like she needs to retire, be on the commentary team, be a manager, do something. Like I just have 0% desire whatsoever to ever see Natalia in a feud with anybody at this point. In a
Yeah.
feud. I don't need to see her in a match no more. I don't need to
Hmm.
see her in a feud no more. If I see
Hmm.
her she would be great as like a commentator on NXT or any other show or something like that, or even like a general manager, something. But and that's with me taking away the fact that I think Natalia is a great wrestler, because I do. I think she's a great technical wrestler. But the problem is that at this point, when she's in the field with somebody, it's just not believable her having a chance to win any feud she's in. Like, so you know that if she's in the field with somebody, you know she's just there to do, to lay down for her opponent. So yeah, man, that's all I got to say about Natalia.
Yeah, I think her having any type of title run is just far near and never happening ever again. So the only thing I'm about to say about Natalia is Natalia, good luck. Um, yes, and you do need to retire. You are well over the age of where you can retire now and be happy. You're a very beautiful woman. You're very talented. You can wrestle. You're good in the ring, but you're just not good enough in today's era standard. So yes, I agree. She definitely needs to go ahead and just pack it up and go home and leave it at that. So she could be a
Um,
trainer.
I love Natty. Yeah, yeah. I love Natty. One of my favorite Saturday morning slam wrestlers on a Saturday morning. I love getting up because that's where she was a star at. Um, but yeah, it's time for her to hang up the boots, and maybe uh she can go be like in the backstage area with her husband and do something like that and write stories for the new women coming in because that's what they need right now. They need a woman to write the story for the woman. I think that's what they need. And she's perfect for it, in my opinion.
Yeah, backstage person. Um, so Raw's final pick for the supplemental draft is a team that, okay, I don't even know how to explain it. I'm kind of high on this team. I don't know how to explain it. Sonya Deville and Chelsea
Skip
Green.
this one.
Let me tell you why I'm high on it. I'm high on Chelsea Green because the original plan was Chelsea Green and Carmella. I love that tag team. I love the idea of that tag team. That tag team was fire to me. And if they're telling me that eventually this tag team will become a stable of Sonya Deville, Chelsea Green, and Carmella, I like it. I like it a lot. I wouldn't mind Chelsea Green and Carmella having the titles. Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green, Sonya Deville is kind of like Natalia. She's like, except for the
Hmm.
difference is Sonya Deville actually was the general manager for. She actually was doing a job that I was like enjoyed her doing. Um, Chelsea
Hmm.
Green, I really like Chelsea Green though, and I
Mm.
want to see her in a team with Carmella. I really want to see that.
Yeah, I was a bit confused on what they had going on for Chelsea Green. Like, when she first came back, I was like, okay, Chelsea Green is back. She's gonna be, what I'm saying, woo woo. But then they start having her just randomly doing goofy stuff, and she lost matches or whatever. But then all of a sudden, I'm just like, oh, okay, I see what this angle is like. She's like the, you know, excuse my French. She's the bitchy lady. She's the Karen. She's the one that's gonna be complaining and
Yeah,
and, and,
she's
and
Karen.
she can't get away type thing. So I'm like, I kind of like that a little bit. I don't know why. I like that for her. I like the way they're going with that. And like you said, they add Carmella to the mix like they was originally supposed to do. That will work out pretty good because there's nothing Carmella's doing right now. She ain't doing much of nothing. Sonya Deville, she ain't doing much of nothing. So why not just have a little stable going on or whatever they're trying to do, and maybe they can pick up some good wins. Maybe they might win the women's tag team titles. By of course by cheating, they're not gonna win fair and square because they're a heel team, so they wouldn't win fair and square. But yeah, I like what they're doing with them now. I'm ready for Carmella to come back to see how they're going to implement that story with them.
Yeah, I agree. Love Chelsea, and if you're right, D's, if they do put him in the stable, with Carmella, that would be fantastic. Because Carmella right now, she's really not doing too much. Uh, she did come out on SmackDown after Rhea Ripley attacked, tried to attack Zelina Vega. Of course, Zelina got away, all that good stuff. And she was standing on the outside near the announce table, kind of just like looking on. So I don't know what that's about. I don't know if she's gonna wait the challenge or what, because she still hasn't been drafted. So
Okay, then we're gonna go to SmackDown now. SmackDown only had two picks, so this is gonna be the last two picks for this part of the draft, guys. And honestly, their two picks are two acts that honestly I'm surprised they haven't been released. I'll be completely honest. SmackDown's first pick is Hit Row. I have no clue what they're doing with Hit Row. Like, I don't know. I really don't know what they're doing with Hit Row. I don't know if they're gonna get fired. I don't know what. Anything about Hit Row, guys? Got anything for Hit Row?
You know what? I mean, this is a little side note. Like I've noticed there haven't been no releases like since
No releases
WrestleMania.
or no hirings.
Yeah, like that's really strange to me. Because I was expecting Hit Row to be the first to go. so so that's why I'm like, wow, that's really strange. They still keep it Hit Row around even though they are doing poorly. Poorly. They even turned heel and still can't get over. Like just let them go if you can't do nothing with them. I don't know, man. That's all I'm gonna say about them. I
yeah.
mean, it sucks. It's unfortunate.
Got anything, Ty?
poor, poor hit row. I ain't really got too much to say. Uh yeah, poor hero. They need to.
All right. So then we're on our last pick of the draft for part one of the draft, and it's for SmackDown, and it's going to be Lacey Evans, another wrestler who, at this point, is like, you're not going to do nothing with her. Just let her go. Simple as that. She came, she tried a different gimmick, she tried another gimmick. None of her gimmicks are working because they all suck. I don't know.
She doesn't have there's no charisma there. I just don't believe in her at all. Like you said, she's been through three different gimmicks already. So it's like just release her. Let her be like one of the first to go for the year. Go ahead and let her go so she can go somewhere else. She can do something else. I just don't believe in her. I'm sorry. She's not a good wrestler to me anyway. So not,
I mean, in my opinion, and it's not going to be a very likable opinion. I like the sassy Southern Belle. I like that gimmick. Loved a very good gimmick, but then you tried to implement her military background. We don't care about that. You're not going to give her a John Cena push. We don't care about military background. Uh, I don't know what other gimmick she's going through right now, but her best gimmick out of whatever other gimmick she's done is the sassy Southern Belle.
it's sad when she's a jobber on a video game too. So
Yeah, that's pretty sad. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Well, that was our last pick for part one. We'll discuss. how we're going to do and when we're going to do part two off camera. I'm going to have you guys go backstage while I close out the show. All right, guys. So that was it. That was the first episode of the Crimson Mass Show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you were here for the whole 2 hours, much thanks. Please, please, please add us on social media. Add us on Twitter. Add us on Instagram. Add us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, subscribe, like, subscribe, like. Uh, I am MFG Deez, and this was WWE Draft Review Part 1. We're going to come hot and ready with Part 2. Um, and that's it. Hope you guys enjoy. And don't forget, check us out at crimson-mass.com. That's crimson-mass.com. Thank you guys for joining.